Hello everyone, welcome to English class. Dear students, as you know that we have been reading chapter number 6. This is Jody's phone. So today we will continue with this chapter. So open your books, page number 90. And yes, we have read about Jody killed a dog to save his father's life, and his father Penny, this is the name of his father, had been bitten by a rattlesnake, and Jody was worried about the phone, who was baby of dead doe, and he wanted to bring that phone at home, and he took permission and went away. So dear students, what is doe? Female deer, right? And phone is the baby of the female deer. So let us talk about the chapter second part, page number 90. Jody gave himself over to thoughts of the phone. They passed the abandoned clearing. So what is the meaning of phrase gave himself over to? Right? The meaning of this phrase is to spend all your time and energy doing or feeling something, right? And abundant means having been deserted or left, and clearing an open space in a forest. So what happened? Jody engaged himself in thinking about the phone only, and they crossed a deserted piece of land in the uh, forest, which means there was no forest, only clean space was there. Then what happened? He said, cut to the north, Millville. It was up here that Pa got bitten by the snake and killed the dog. And I saw the phone. So he was giving the directions to Millville. So Jody gave directions as he told Millville to turn towards the north, where Penny got bitten by a snake, and he had killed the dog and seen the phone there only. So he was dictating the place. Suddenly, Jody was unwilling to have Millville with him. If the phone was dead or could not be found, he couldn't have his disappointment seen. And if the phone was there, the meeting would be so lovely and so secret that he couldn't endure to share it. So, here is the word endure, which means handle, here only. Okay, so all of a sudden, Jody became unwilling, not too willing to be with Millville. He wondered if the phone was dead or couldn't be found. He didn't want Millville to see his disappointment. Okay, in the case if he was not able to find the phone, then he will become disappointed. So he didn't want to show his disappointment in front of Millville. And on the other hand, if he found the phone, the union would be so lovely and personal that he couldn't bring himself to share it. Right? Means there were two cases. He could find the phone or he couldn't. So in the both cases, he didn't want to show his feelings to others. He said, "It's not far now, but the scrub is very thick for a horse. I can make it on foot." So scrub means small form of a plant there. So Jody told Millville that the point where he saw the phone is not far now. So Jody suggested that he would go on by foot, as the scrubs ahead means little plants ahead are very thick for a horse. So it was not able for a horse to ride ahead. So he will go on foot. Next, but I am afraid to leave you, boy. Suppose you got lost or got bitten by a snake too. So Millwall was very concerned about him. So he was afraid to leave Jody alone, as what would happen if he got lost or bitten by a snake too. So I will take care. It might take me a long time to find the phone. If he is wounded, leave me off right here. So Jody assures him that he will handle it, and also that it might take a while for him to find the phone in case he has wounded further. So wander means to roam, to roam, to walking, to walk. Okay, so if he wandered, if he wandered, was wandered in case, means if he will go here and there, so in case he could find the phone and it will take a long time. All right, but you take it easy now. You know north here and east. So he was telling him the directions. So he told Millville to leave him nearby. Millville follows his direction, advises him to take it easy. He asks Jody if he is aware where the north and where the east, because in the forest you can forget the path. So it was very compulsory to remember the directions. There and there, that tall pine makes a bearing. Makes a bearing means acts as a compass and helps to identify direction. Okay, so what was he saying? And Jody told him by pointing out the directions that he knows, and that the tall pine acts as a compass that helps in identifying directions. So long, Millville, I am obliged. So Millville remarks that the pine is so long, to which Jody agrees and expresses his gratefulness. I am obliged means he was showing his gratefulness to Millville because he brought him here. He waited for the sound of the hooves to end, then cut to the right. The scrub was still. Only his own crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken his directions. So, here the meaning of hooves. Hooves means the horny part of the foot of a horse. Okay, and the word crackling means sharp sounds. Twigs means very small woody shoot growing from a branch or stem of a tree or shrub. So it is the part of the tree or a shrub, very tender part. And yes, no more word is difficult here. So what happened? Jody waited for the sound of hoofs to end, means sound of horse to end, and let the horse go a bit far and then take a right. Okay, because he wanted to go alone there. So the scrub that was in front of him was stood still, was not moving at all. Only the sound of a few twigs, okay, could be heard in the silence. It was silence there. He was not able to hear any other sound. The sound of some twigs was there only, and Jody doubted for a second if he had mistaken his direction. Okay, so he was for a second become very doubtful about the directions. Now on the next page, page number 91, then a buzzard rose in front of him and flapped into the air. He came into the clearing under the oaks. Buzzards sat in a circle around the carcass of Doe. They turned their head on their long, scrawny neck and hissed at him. He threw his bow at them and they flew into an adjacent tree. The sand showed large cat prints, but the big cats killed fresh and they had left the door to the carrion birds. Okay, so dear students, look at the words and their meanings. Here is the word buzzard, which means a large bird like the vulture that eats the flesh of dead animals. It is given to you, right? And flapped, okay, which means move up and down when flying or preparing to fly. Flutter, a bird's wings when they were moving ups and downs, it makes noise that called flap. And then scrawny, okay, which means thin and bony, very thin. Okay, hissed means make a sharp sibilant sound as of the letter S. It is a sound. Okay, adjacent, nearby, and last word is here bow. Okay, which means a main branch of a tree. So what happened there? A large bird, like a vulture, appeared in front of him and fluttered into the air. He came to the abundant clearing from under the oaks. They sat in a circle, who birds sat in a circle around the door that laid dead. They looked at him with their heads that laid on their long necks and hissed at him. Jody threw his bow at them, and they flew into a nearby tree. The sand showed marks of large cat footprints who had killed it recently and had left the door for the carrion birds. Right? Next para. He parted the grass at the place where he had seen the phone. It didn't seem possible that it was only yesterday. The phone was not there. He circled the clearing. There was no sound, no sign. The buzzard clacked their wings, impatient to return to their business. He returned to the spot where the phone had emerged and dropped on all fours, studying the sand for the small hoof prints. The night rain, right as rain had washed away all tracks except those of cats and buzzards. So, what happened there? Here is the word clacked. Okay, clack means make a sharp sound or series of noises, and parted meaning is given, moved or pushed aside. So Jordy separated the grass from the place where he saw the phone the previous day. So he was in searching for phone. He couldn't believe it had just been a day. That phone was not at that place. Jordy searched and the abundant land, but there was no sign or sound of the phone. So, on the other hand, the buzzards made sound with their wings out of desperation to resume that were what they were doing. Jody began looking at the place where the phone had appeared from and they began reading the small hoof prints in the sand, but the rain from last night had washed away all tracks except for cats and buzzard. Means last night there was rain and had washed away all the signs, so he was not able to follow the phone's sign. Okay, but there was footprints of cats and buzzards only. So it was the scene when he was searching for, and he was in the forest and going here and there to search the phone. So I am going to start third part of this chapter also. Look the same page number 91 carefully. What happened? Movement directly in front of him startled him so that he tumbled backward. The phone lifted its face to his. It turned its head with a wide, wandering motion and shook him through with the stare of its liquid eyes. It was quivering. It made no efforts to rise or run. Jody couldn't trust himself to move. He whispered, "It's me." So here is the word startled, which means feeling or showing a sudden shock or alarm. Tumbled, having fallen or collapsed. Okay, so quivering, shaking is given, right? Another word is I think rest of the words are simple. So Jody was shocked after having experienced some movement in front of him, and he fell backwards. It was the phone. The phone lifted his face with a wide and wondering motion to see Jody and stared at him with his liquid eyes. Liquid eyes means full of tears that it left Jody shook. The phone was shaking with a slight rapid motion. Okay, and the phone was still sat still and made no efforts to run. On the other hand, Jody couldn't move too, but he whispered lightly, "It's me." Okay, he was telling that he was him only. So what happened? The phone lifted its nose, scenting him. He reached out one hand and it laid on the soft neck. The touch made him delirious, and he moved forward on all four until he was close beside it. He put his arms around its body. A light convulsion passed over it, and but it didn't stir. So here is the word delirious, which means extremely excited, convulsion, which means shiver. So the phone shifted and smelled him. Jody reached out with his hand and laid it on its soft neck. His touch made the phone excited and he moved forward in an attempt to be close to Jody. Okay, so Jody put his arms around the phone, which made the phone shiver slightly, but he didn't stir, which means he was not frightened but comforted. So on the page number 92, he stroked its side as gently as though the phone were a china deer and he might break it. Its skin was very soft. It was sleek and clean and had a sweet scent of grass. He rose slowly and lifted the phone from the ground. Its leg hung limply. They were surprisingly long, and he had to hoist the phone as high as possible under his arms. So here is the word china deer, which means a clay deer that is easily broken, sleek, which means smooth and shining, limply, which means lacking stiffness. Okay, and hoist means pull up higher or an act of raising or lifting something. So here you can see the picture how he had lifted the phone in his arms. Okay, so Jody caressed the sides of his body so gently as if it were as fragile as china deer, as weak as china deer. So the phone was soft, sleek, and clean, and even possessed a pleasant scent of grass. It is a description of phone only. And Jody lifted the phone from the ground in a way that hung his limbs in the air. The phone's legs were quite so long, so Jody had to hold him as high as possible under his arms. So here is the description of the phone, like his phone's legs were very quiet, so Jody had to hold him as high as possible in his arms. So here is the description and the dictation of how he had held the uh, door phone in his arms, and you can see in this picture. So here is the end for today. Thank you so much.